No. Kia ora koutou katoa, no mai, hana mai, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day one of the 2026. It is day one of the big one of the year. That's right, it is Open Club Men's National Championship. Coming up next on Freeman Field here, Diamond 1. We're going to put the graphic up in the middle of the game tile graphic up for you, and it'll show you exactly what we've got coming up next, because it is game 11 on the schedule here. Yep, that's the one. And you can see it'll be Hutt City United, the club from out of Te Awa Kairangi, Hutt Valley. They'll be taking on the new boys on the block. I'm so excited for this team. That is Onehunga Mangere. Great to have you along for it. I'm Jason Gerbes, aka Chopper, and I'm very pleased for the very first time we're bringing a good mate of mine all the way from Toronto, Canada. It is Lance Wynn. Kia ora, Lance.
Pleasure to be here, Chopper, and looking forward to finally working a game with you again.
Yeah, finally working the game again and really looking to enjoy ourselves. We're underway, hot start here from Hutt City United. Let's set the fielding lineups for you. I'm just going to get the guys to turn the ground and have some music down there. Fade down for them here in the stadium. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, as we just sort ourselves out. We're just underway here on the top of the first innings, and great to have you along for it. Great to have my mate Lance Wynn joining us here in commentary, and you guys all joining us as well. Lance, at the end of the season tournament, Club Nationals, wherever it may be, whatever country it may be, dude, what's it all about?
Well, I tell you, it's really the best of the best, and you know, there's a lot at stake when you talk about playing within your own country. The national level is the highest you can, with the exception of playing international ball. Not everyone is privileged to play for your country, but playing in your country and a chance to be the best within is always something everyone strives for.
Well, there you go. Always strides for, and great to have you along, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a look at the lineups for both of these teams now. Firstly, offensively for the team batting here, that is Hutt City United. It was Zar Shaw Wallace who grounded out to first base to get us underway here in this match. Ethan Lands, a native from your country, Lance, out on the BC side. He's batting now. Tani Mumu hitting 3 today. Dallas Clifton is in the clean-up spot as we see Lands go down on strike. Logan O'Leary will be hitting in the 5 spot today. Josh Carroll is in 6. Joel Byrne, Tauma Baldwin will round out the batting order for Jaden Heta, who's pitching. He's been hit for by Joel Byrne in the 7th spot. Defensively for Onehunga Mangere, and excuse me if I get excited here, but it's a real big deal that they're here this week. It really is so cool that these two teams have had a chance. Onehunga Mangere's got a chance to come to a Club Nationals. I believe it's historic, but I stand to be corrected on that, but I believe it's the first time this club, Lance, how cool is that they've made the National Championship?
Well, that just says a lot about the progress of the sport and how it's extending itself. And there's obviously a long line of tradition of softball, fastball in New Zealand, and to see it expand is great for New Zealand. Not so good for every other country competing, but certainly bodes well for you Kiwis down there.
So the ball fouled away. That's 2-2 and does bode well. Thank you, Lance, for the pat on the back for these Kiwi lads that are out there on the rain today, to be fair. Doing it tough on day one. It came in about an hour ago, and it stayed steady. And just like a good Kiwi, just like a good Canadian, they will play through it as much as they can. Defensively for the new boys on the block, Onehunga Mangere, it is Liam Morrow Connor at left field. Centre is Cameron Money. How about that for a last name? Tyler Twigden, he's over at right field. Hock on a third base is Valentine Holmes. At shortstop for them is Chase Rouse. Starting second baseman is Tiffany Paul. Over at first, doing the job over there is Mark Hamilton, big, tall, left-handed veteran. And receiving that high pitch behind the dish is Tyrone Manuel. He's a youngster. I've seen this kid a couple of years ago in an age group tournament. And Reese Moe will be the starting pitcher for Onehunga Mangere on debut on day one. at the Men's Club National Championship. Strikeout victim to Tane Mumu. That's not a bad victim. Black Sox to cap out their first innings with no runs given up from Onehunga Mangere. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with more action here live from Freeman Field on day one of the 2026 Men's Open Club National Championship.
Sometimes virtual reality begs for more reality. Jack Links is good with it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back here as we'll play a little bed music for you to smooth your ears as we come back into the innings. And maybe a scoreboard or two. Great to have you along. I'm just giving the crew a bit of stick. It's day one, ladies and gentlemen. We're having a lot of fun here. Hope you're having fun, enjoying it. It's great to have you along. Defensively for this team out there in the field, that is Hutt City United. And they are left, right in the outfield. For them will be Logan O'Leary, Josh McCarroll, and Mikhail Tauma. Hock on a third base, Ethan Lands. Shortstop is the Black Sox, Tane Mumu. Starting second baseman for Hutt City United, Jackson Baldwin. Over at first, Dallas Clifton. Behind the dish, doing the catching is Zarshaw Wallace, the U23 New Zealand Major Sox representative. And he is not catching the Jaden Hetto, who is leaded as the starting pitcher. But it is a designated player that will start on the hill. That is Joel Byrne from out of Australia. He picks up his first victim. Offensively for Onehunga Mangere, we just saw Aiden Davis go down there, designated player. Chris Rouse will bat now, then Reese Mose in the 3 spot. Tiffany Paul's hitting clean up today. Cameron Money will be in the 5 spot. The centre fielder Tyler Twigden is hitting 6 for Onehunga Mangere. Liam Amaro O'Connor is 7. Tyrone Manuel is an 8. And running out the batting order from the debutants is Valentine Horn. Talking about debutantes, to be on the dugout broadcasting remotely for once, because he always comes down here. We can't keep him out of our country because every time he gets here, we just can't stop hugging him. It is Lance Wynn joining us in commentary.
Well, I wish I didn't resemble that remark, Chopper. I couldn't agree with you more. Visiting there much better, but I would like to think that we're breaking new ground, having a Canadian sit side by side with you virtually and enjoy some of the best softball you guys have to offer. So I'm privileged, and I figure that you'll have what you think is some sort of witty comment as we go along.
Well, I'll try my best, my friend. I'll try my best. I'm going to try and just tweak your audio a little bit here for us, because I know I want to hear what you've got to say, and I'm sure everyone else does as well. And mate, I just firstly want to just say it's great to have you along. Great that you're available this week to join us here in NZ.
It's a little different. I get to enjoy your sunshine over there, but we're in the midst of winter here, so it brightens up my day, and it also connects me with what's to come in the summer months when softball's sort of international all round. And so thanks for letting me tip in and join in and get a little taste of what you guys got.
Sounds good, buddy. And like I said, really good to have you along. And I'm just going to make sure, okay, that's all turned off. Fantastic indeed. Back to the action here out on the field. Joel Byrne, we've seen Australia, Lance, export their pitches now for a wee while. What is it about the water in Australia that seems to breed these great little pitches?
Well, I mean, you're certainly closer geographically than I am. I think as Canadians, we've been trying to figure out what the Aussies and what the Kiwis have been doing for years now. But I think when push comes to shove, it's all about the grassroots and the foundation, and having this sort of tradition and this sport introduced to these athletes at a young age, teaching them the tradition behind it, how important it is, what it means culturally. And I think that's where the advantage is with both the Aussies and the Kiwis is that stuff's sort of ingrained. And, in Canada, we more focus on hockey and basketball and some other sports that, are kind of front and center. So to give, to watch and to see these things and watch guys progress from the junior ranks all the way up to playing men's club and as well as international is a real treat for me.
A real treat indeed. Great to have Lance Wynn join us here at Beyond the Dugout. Day one continues here, 11 o'clock, game 11 I should say, was due to start at 1 o'clock, running about a half an hour behind schedule, which is not unusual in tournament play here in New Zealand. 2-hour time slots for each game. The last game will kick off at 5 p.m. 3 o'clock is the next one after this. But more importantly, it's the debutants, Onehunga Mangere and the Red Tops batting now against Hutt City United. Bottom of the first innings. This one laced and goes foul off the bat. Tipini Paul, the second baseman, he's in the clean-up spot. Lance, I want to ask you a question. A club side on as a debutant, first time at the show. What is going to be some of the things going through their minds? Not just the players, but maybe even the management staff.
Well, I think the first thing you want as a player is you certainly want to get that first at bat. Regardless of what the result is, you want to get up there, get comfortable, feel like you're a part of the tournament, a part of the team, and a contributor. That's what you want to do. I think if you're on the coaching side of things, you really want to try and get off to a good start. You also want to sort of make sure that you're balancing the chemistry, you're reading the chemistry of your team, knowing that you got to go forward. And of course, it's all about momentum. You get your team rolling, you want to win every game, and you want to be playing your best ball on the last day, not necessarily on the first.
It is indeed. You want to play on the last day, not necessarily on the first, is where you want to get the goodness. Wise words from our friend Lance Wynn joining us in commentary here. 2 away as Paul's still trying to work his way through his first at-bat.
I tell you, so far, Lance has looked exceptional in that circle. Both pitchers have looked good in their half of innings right now, and the fact that he surrendered a walk between 2 strikeouts, 3 strikeouts now, impressive start.
Impressive indeed as we continue to roll here through one complete as you see the last ounce. And great to have you along for it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. It'll be the second innings. No score against the debutants. That is Onehunga Mangere taking on Hutt City United.
From the humble beginnings of a Wellington garage and with a good helping of Kiwi can-do, Resine have been proudly colouring New Zealand since 1946. Environmentally approved quality paints, colours and expert advice, all available at your local Resine colour shop. Our friendly team are here to help you get the best results for your project. With creative colours and innovative paint all made right here in New Zealand. You can rely on Resine to get the job done.
When the radio's on and the sound's hot, you just have to enjoy. There's no way to stop. That's where it sounds like the best every day of the week. Better than all the rest. We love the music to be. All the best throwbacks, 90s and more. Until our talk. All the best throwbacks.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you along here as the rain continues to fall out here on day one. And got to give credit where credit's due. We're not in the winter like Lance went in Toronto. We're at the back end of summer here in New Zealand. Doesn't quite look too summery today, Lance.
No, but we'd be begging for some rain here. I'll tell you that. It beats snow. So, enjoy a little bit of mud. We hope to get to that point soon, as spring is really just a couple weeks away for us.
Well, I hope the flowers start to pop out and all that, those type of good things that spring brings. Top of the second innings here. Hutt City United will set up three of their best to be Logan O'Leary, Josh McCarroll and Joel Byrne, 1, 2 and 3. Hard hit ball from O'Leary through the 5-6 hole, and he'll trot down a first base for these.
Well, first hit of the game, Chopper. Impressive in itself. Like I said, Mao got off to a good start, striking out two of the first three hitters he's seen. And I know the first out was a fly ball out there to left field. And good job by O'Leary to step in there and be aggressive right off in his first at bat.
Ready to rock and roll. O'Leary takes off on the first pitch. And he's there yesterday, so swipes a bag. Does the left fielder for Hutt City United. O'Leary had a chance to visit your country last winter or your summer. Played over in BC for the Canadian summer and came back a better player and just loved the experience.
Well, I think that's to be said both ways. The Canadians do the exchange and over in New Zealand and Australia, and the same will be said in the later months. And I think it benefits all of these guys. You're really playing international ball before you have to worry about a World Cup event. So the experience is invaluable. It's the best players in the world.
Mo will throw over the comebacker in time to get the first out here in the second innings. Does allow O'Leary to move it over to third base. Only 60 feet away now is O'Leary. Well, Reece Mo, he's an experienced campaigner, the pitcher here for Onehunga Mangere. Been around a long time. Spent a long time at Otahuhu. And now giving back to a neighbouring suburb, Onehunga Mangere. And Lance, we were saying a little bit off the air, buddy, you actually have first-hand knowledge of Onehunga Mangere's geographical feature.
Well, you're gonna have to help me out on that one. Stop throwing me curveballs or the drop ball, and maybe groove one right across the middle for me, will you?
I'm not too good at throwing a change up down Main Street, but I'll try my best. Of course, I can't remember which World Cup it was we did together here in New Zealand, but the day you were departing, we popped in and visited Dale Husband, the Sky commentator. Hard hit ball up the middle here, and Hutt City United will open their account in the bottom of the first innings.
Good piece of hitting. Got a pitch that was up in the zone, and Great job by Byrne. He really stepped into that one. And rain or not, I guess the infield must be getting just a little bit harder. And boy, that took a skip and big RBI to open the scoring.
Sure is indeed. He's had a big year, Josh McCarroll, with that hit there. I think he finished either number 1 or number 2 top hitter for Hutt Valley at the NFC. And the big swing first pitch, off goes McCarroll, and obviously Hutt City United got something in mind here, running the bases.
Well, they either picking up something or they just figure that they've got good enough speed. They're certainly taking their liberties. Both back-to-back base runners have stolen second base with ease, so we may see that trend continue throughout.
Aggressive base running indeed. Still working on things on our end, just get things tidied up a little bit with Lance's audio coming in, because he's got a wonderful deep tone to his voice, and I can attest. I don't like listening to him all the time, but I can't help but get to the next game he calls. He's fantastic to listen to, that's for sure. Was that a compliment?
Well, listen. My audio must be breaking up if that's what I thought I heard. So I'm gonna have to check myself, or you're getting a little soft in your old age, one of the two. But just to go back to your point about where we went with Dale Cousins, and again, Chopper, that was, as you see, another base hit there and another run. So really, Hutt City is motoring along. But I have to tell you, Chopper, where we went is still one of the most beautiful places I've ever been to in my existence, and I hope that I'm lucky enough to get back there another time.
Yeah, indeed. Can't wait to have you back, friend. That's for sure. So we are in the top of the second innings. 2 runs in now for Hutt City United. Jackson Baldwin will step in to go to work, the youngster. Fantastic young man. I'll tell you what, though, he could do with a haircut. Lance, it's got that Puerto Rican WBC hairstyle going on underneath there.
Well, you got to be careful with that, okay? Because I know how you are about hairstyles. All right, will you let the kid wear the helmet and go out there and swing the bat? Okay.
Fair enough.
You're
All
always
right,
looking for your new look. That's why.
1 ball and 2 strikes. In good fashion, Chopper's got the scoreboard back to front. There we go. Hard hit ball. Shortstop plays that perfectly. And they'll throw it over in time for the third out. But not before Hutt City United. They played 2 on the back of a couple of sharp hits from O'Leary and Tauma. Back soon with more action here on day 1.
To have Māori getting ownership rights recognised in the taku time wana.
So they created legislation, forceful and CBD.
What it is the same old faces, the can meters, the Harawira factories, the haters and raiders.
It's about time we started looking to a new future.
What you can do in 50,000 turn up.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you along for bottom of the second innings here. Hutt City United grabbed the lead in the top of the innings, and they will face 3 of Onehunga's finest here as they get underway. The weather is still coming in, and there's an update from the Outer Diamonds. And if you're trying to follow the tournament, of course, you can follow all of the diamonds on the Softball New Zealand YouTube channel. There's a continuous feed on each diamond. You better see the weather. And if I look across the diamonds right now, Papanui down on diamond 8. They're taking on the Papakuta Patriots. Top of the second innings there. Papanui in the lead, 1-0. Pukekohe are taking on the Birkdale Falcons. Bottom of the first over on diamond 9. And they are up 2-0. We see a strikeout there in the innings. Hutt Valley Marist to take on the Northern Bandits. Top of the first, they're up 3-0 Northern Bandits. That's on diamond 10. And over on diamond 2, level off field, it is the Southern Pioneers taking on Howick. They've just underway, top of the first innings. There's your roundup as we go around the diamonds. 5 diamonds in activation here each day, each time slot, 9 a.m. through to 5 p.m. start times. It is a carnival of softball. Lance win a busy little time the next 5 days. And we're just going to just tidy up. I think the cord might have just come out of Lance's computer. Just looking at his audio. There's no audio registering yet, so we'll get that tidied up for you. As I know, he's just looking to change his headset. So once that comes back, we'll bring him in. Don't you worry about that. We continue here. We are in the bottom of the first innings. Liam Maro O'Connor, I believe. Apologies. I think this is Tyler Twigden first. Ball just fouls down the line. Bottom of the second innings. As you can see the score, 1-2 balls, 2 strikes, 2-0. And a swing and a miss. We'll take care of the second out. I'm just figuring out how to do the scoreboard. I was doing it all wrong before. I think we'll get there. We see a few of the teams are just hovering around the grandstand just to try and get out of the weather. Of course, we're wishing everyone the best of luck. There's always a little bit of a delay when the weather's like this. And I believe the forecast over the next maybe day and a half is still going to keep us on our toes. And this is Mara O'Connor. The good thing with Rosedale Park here, they've got some all-weather diamonds. Diamond 1 and 2 are the skin diamonds, so they can get a little waterlogged after a long period of rain. But they do drain pretty quickly otherwise. The outfield has amazing drainage, so you wouldn't even know it's been raining out there. But diamonds, the other 3 diamonds on the outer portion of the complex here, 10, 9 and 8. I know it sounds funny, the names of them, but that's what they are. They're all artificial turf infield, so all those games will just continue to play over there. There shouldn't be any issues whatsoever. We do have an update from an earlier round today. 2 games got suspended. Game 9, Auckland versus Marist. And Albany continuing on Diamond 8 at 5 p.m. And the other 11 o'clock game, Game 10, PCU taking on Pukekohe. They'll resume on Diamond 1 at 7 p.m. Whoa. The crew just heard that. Might be in for a late night tonight, so bear with. Got a really good crew in here today, bringing you all of the action, and great to have you along for it. It really is our privilege to do that. We'll see a Walker shoot. So happy camper, down he goes. That'll mean Tyrone Manuel will get an opportunity now. This kid, I think he's the same kid. We did the Cameron Duncan tournament a couple of years ago out at Waitakere Bears, and he was playing in maybe under 17s division then, so yeah, he might be 19 now, 18 or 19. Anyway, hit a grand slam. Game continues here. 2 away, bottom of the second innings. A runner at first base for Onehunga Mangere. And Joel Byrne continues.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Hard hit ball and Manuel. This is the bit of the power I was telling you about. He blasts this one into the corner, and Onehunga Mangere will score their first run of the national tournament here off the bat of Tyrone Manuel. How cool is that? How cool is that? They do get the last out at the same time in the play, but the run will score first. So we'll be back with more action, ladies and gentlemen, in just a moment as we work our way through this game. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Great to have you along for it. I'm Jason Gerbes, aka Chopper, and we're just working to get our friend Lance Wooden back with you. Shouldn't be too long before we can get him back in to the action. But we are with you anyway. Top of the third innings. Just going to try. See another opportunity for Onehunga Mangere. It's time to be Zarshaw Wallace that will kick things off.
2 ball, 1 strike. Two ball, 1 strike.
A walk issued. And the runner takes off again. Hutt City United have been aggressive the whole way through to start this game. And apologies for a little quietness. We're just trying to get things back up for Lance so he can join us. You can see the game imagery of it anyway, of what's happening out there. Hard hit ball by Lands, and it's one off the bottom of the fence here. And that'll allow Shaw Wallace to come on through. And he'll come on around, and Hutt City United will pick up another run. So we're just resetting things for Lance, see if we can get him back in. So Tani Mumu, strikeout victim. Very unusual for Mumu in the first innings, and I'm sure he'd like to make an amends here, if you like.
One ball, one strike. Two ball, one strike.
See here, it lands now down at third base. So Mumu trying to cash him in. Top of the third innings here.
Three ball, one strike.
So Mumu picks up the walk. He'll head down to first base. So Hutt City United got him cornered now with runners on either side.
No, I don't want the ball. A little more.
The umpire just communicating with them. Get things, what's required out there. Good umpire, Cameron Kwong, behind the dish, and on that pitch that will allow Mumu to slide on down to second base. So two runners in scoring position now.
Two ball, one strike.
You see here just biding their time. Not in a hurry here, Hutt City United.
Two ball, one strike.
Dictating the speed of play. Hard hit ball, that's got merit. About one bounce it into the fence. Hutt City United will plate two on the strong stroke by Dallas Clifton. So Hutt City firmly in control now. Logan O'Leary. Real good athlete is O'Leary, that's for sure.
Two ball, one strike.
So 2-1. I think we're just about there, folks. So we're just about there. Get him. So we're going to bring him back in when we can. Just look at the outer diamonds. They're still going on every diamond at the moment. It is bottom of the first innings on diamond 2, level off field. Auckland leads 6 runs to 0. Over on diamond 10, 3 apiece between Hutt City Marist and Hutt Valley Marist and the Northern Bandits. Pukekohe, they're taking on the Birkdale Falcons, and it's 2 runs to 1 in the top of the second innings to Pukekohe. And a frisbee will go back to the fence. And that'll allow a runner down to first base, who will immediately take off to second base. I tell you, Hutt City United put on a running clinic here today. Really, really have. After Leary, we'll see Josh McCarroll. He's already driven in the first run of the ball game for Hutt City United, leading 5 runs to 1 here. Now, update from Diamond 8, top of the second innings. Papanui firm control, 6 runs to 0. They're up. You want to catch all the scores and all the action. Of course, all the live streams are on the Softball New Zealand YouTube channel. And the scores, all the updates will be on the event page. So you go to the Facebook event page, Open Men's Championship. Okay, fantastic. Looks like we might be able to bring Lance back in here. I'll just turn this audio on. Might just have to play with his audio a little bit, but we'll see if we can bring him in. I think he had to attend to the reindeer, as they do in Canada. I don't know what they do in Canada. I definitely don't know what Lance Wynn does, that's for sure. I'm not too sure anyone knows what Lance Wynn does. And just having a look at the settings, I think we are ready to bring him in. And g'day, Lance, and welcome back, mate. How's the reindeer?
Well, I heard the remark. I'm hoping you can hear my response to that remark about the reindeer, since you're so smart.
We are indeed. Still a bit of work to do on the audio, but anyway, you're back, buddy. Let's continue the game, and a quick game moving now. Hutt City United finding their feet here in the third innings.
Well, and I think you expected that, Chopper. Hutt City United, obviously a team that's a little more experienced and has been to these club nationals before. And give OM some credit; they're still fighting there. And as you can see, though, that the bats of Hutt City they are alive, they are awake. They struggled in the first inning, but since then it has been just a pretty much routine batting practice out there for this Hutt City team.
It sure is indeed, and that allows us, and I'm just going to check something there. It does indeed. Routine, but calculated as well, this Hutt City side. They came with a game plan, of course, to run the bases hard. You see another one run in here to score, but they wanted to take the game to this debutant team, haven't they?
Well, they have, and I think the key when you come in as one of the favorites is that to play your game and not worry about your competition so much. Just try to get the engine rolling, take some good swings, guys be comfortable in the batter's box. You want your pitcher and your defense to feel good, and right now you can see Hutt City is feeling good at the dish. They're getting some great pitching, and they're really sort of establishing their first game and sort of looking to bring that forward, I'm sure, to day 2.
It is indeed, my friend, and great to have you along on day 1 here of the national tournament, and an opportunity for these guys to hear the great Lance Wynn.
Well, again, you caught me off guard with a potential compliment. So I just know clearly I haven't seen you a while and you miss me.
Clearly, mate, clearly. As we see a play there. Onehunga Mangere, they are, as you're right, hanging tough, as you so rightly put it. and looking to try and get themselves out of the innings.
Well, you know, Chopper, that anyone who's played this game has given out a beating and received one. So you can learn a lot from playing against teams that are better. And as far as OM goes, to me, it's going to be a bit of a process for them, and learning how to play and play together and play at this level and in this championship. So they'll be, I'm sure, a better team on day 2 than they were here on day 1.
Yeah, bound to, without a doubt. They'll be loving the experience. They won't really care about the score, to be honest with you. Just being here is a score indeed. We continue on the top of the third innings here. Jackson Baldwin, with the Puerto Rican haircut, steps out to go to work again in the batter spot. Who you got in the WBC, bud? Canada, I suppose.
Well, I always have Canada, right? Like, I won't lie, I always have Canada up there. But, you know, there really is a changing of the guard internationally, Chopper. And, you know, you're seeing a lot of different mixed results, and the same teams aren't up there all the time. Congratulations to, of course, the Black Sox for an outstanding showing in Prince Albert, Canada, here at the WBSC World Cup and taking the silver. They played outstanding, and it bodes well. The building process from when we were at the last World Cup down in New Zealand to the progress to Canada, unbelievable. So hats off to the coaching staff and what's done there. And again, for your team and the softball overall in New Zealand, it bodes well and shows what you're doing at the grassroots level is working. And, you know, having the right guys in place to take the senior team to that next level and have them compete on the world stage, man, you got some good things going on.
Some good things going on indeed. And of course, the Black Sox nominated for Halberg Team of the Year, New Zealand Team of the Year this event calendar. A fantastic achievement, that's for sure. Back to the action here. Top of the order, Zarshaw Wallace with a hot shot down the corner, and that'll play another couple of runs here for Hutt City United. And I apologise if I may be a run behind. When it gets out like this, it's a little hard to keep track. It's hard for me to keep track 1-0 ball game, let alone 9-1 ball game, Lance.
Listen, I know as soon as it turns double digits, you're going to have problems.
Yeah,
okay?
I've run out of fingers, bud. I've run out of fingers.
So right now, I know you're struggling. I can't help you. My counter is always off. So if I'm not writing it down, I am no good to you, okay?
Well, of course, we have the benefit of you knowing I lost a finger in that tricycle accident. You were steering, I was pedaling, and it was always going to end badly.
Well, I'm glad that's the story you're telling everybody. Okay, I have a different version that we will, we'll get to at another time. But
no, it was all going well until
I told you to slow down.
Toward that big
told
Buick.
You to slow down, man. Okay, you didn't have any brakes. I told you.
Back into the action here, and it is Lands. A heavy hitter. He's already hit one to the fence today. And this young man, Ethan Lance, really happy to report. He came down last year, first season out here, and I'm just going to throw it out there, not looking the best shape, but boy, oh boy, he's come back, shedded a heck of weight, and boy, is he paying the dividends this year. Just been a real threat at the plate all season.
Well, you can tell just by the way he swings the bat, he's a power hitter. And when you're playing against the best competition on a regular basis, you can only get better as a hitter. And I think that bodes well, of course, for Canada. But when you look at the development as he pops it up, you can just see that a lot of good things ahead for that young man. Best competition.
Yeah, well, it sure does indeed. And a gallant effort by the catcher there behind the dish. Almost got to that one, put his body on the line. Almost got a grill full of pipe work there. But to his credit, stayed in the fight.
Well, that's a tough play for any catcher, though, Chopper. You got that ball tailing back, so he'd go back to the backstop all the way, but that ball may look like initially it might even go over and drift back, so he's a little too far. So just maybe some inexperience, and a good finish there, though.
Yeah, great. A battle all the way back to pick up the strike out. So we didn't get a chance to introduce the umpires. We might do that now if we can, because, you know, they're a big part of every tournament. As coming up to bat here is Tani Mumu. And you'll see our umpiring crew we mentioned was Cam Ming Kwong behind the dish. And it is Steve Gallagher over at first base. David 14 with a just exquisite moustache. And Jill Gooden is our official scorer in this one. Thank you for your services, our Kaiwawa umpiring crew and scorer.
That mustache is the best in the business, Chopper. Straight up.
He is indeed. Mr. 14's moustache, the third base umpire. He's I tell you what, every time we see him, whether it be at a tournament here in New Zealand or a tournament overseas somewhere, boy, it brings a smile to your dial, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, and he always has the tips dipped in wax, and the thing looks like it's been painted on. It's beautiful.
Got it going on. Tani Mumu.
I see Mumu's bulked up in the off season.
Yeah, well, he's been doing something, that's for sure, as we see him go down on strikes. Did you just give him the commentator Hex? And look at the catcher, smashed into the fence. The belt's looking a little worse for where Tyrone Manuel will have to go and get that one replaced in the auto shop in the innings break. Well, we're through 2.5. It is bottom of third coming up next. Hutt City United leading 9 runs to 1.
From the humble beginnings of a Wellington garage and with a good helping of Kiwi can-do, Resene have been proudly colouring New Zealand since 1946. Environmentally approved quality paints, colours and expert advice, all available at your local Resene colour shop. Our friendly team are here to help you get the best results for your project. With creative colours and innovative paint all made right here in New Zealand. You can rely on Resene to get the job done.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here in Freeman Field. It's day one of competition, and it is the big dogs around. Hutt City United got a good one going on. They're leading 9 runs to 1. We're going to get that score ratified for you, but they've got a good one going on here on day one. Onehunga Mangere, they are the debutants, as we mentioned, coming in all the way from Toronto, Canada, and pleased to be advised that his beautiful bass-filled voice is picture perfect, Lance Wood.
Well, I appreciate that, Chopper. I wouldn't want to disappoint for sure, but it's definitely nice to connect with you and everyone that I've been lucky enough to meet and spend some time with when I was over there on 2 occasions. Forget the fact that I get to sit down and enjoy some excellent softball with you again is a real privilege for me over here.
Oh, fantastic indeed. As we continue here, bottom of the third innings, and up for Onehunga Mangere be Valentine Holmes, then back to the top of the shop, Aidan Davis and Chase Rouse. 1, 2, and 3 from the boys from the mountain. Of course, that was what we were talking about earlier on the broadcast. Lance being able to go there with Lance husband. We climbed to the top of Mangere Mountain, and in true fashion of Dale Husband, he brought out the guitar and we sung you a Māori song at the top of that mountain when you visited New Zealand.
You guys made that day one of the most memorable in all of my old years. I'll tell you that. Between you and Dale, you sent me off the right way. It was a great way to depart, although as hard as it was to leave. But you guys took my breath away, and the entire trip and what you guys did for me is something that I will never forget, and it always gives me inspiration to want to make another trip down there so I can sit down with you guys one more time with the guitar.
One more time, indeed. Great to have Lance win in Aotearoa Shores, and I'm sure at some stage he must be due back very, very shortly. Now he comes through so clearly, it's like he's right next to me, the guy. Oh, my goodness.
Careful what you wish for, right?
Yeah, careful what you wish for. Aidan Davis here, and he will foul that one off. Lance, Onehunga Mangere here, of course, a margin in the game in the third innings, but some of the takeaways that they'll take away from not just this game, but their debut club nationals.
Well, you first off, it's the thrill and the excitement of actually going. Then when you get here, you realize that you're up against some of the best teams in the country, and that you may be a little outmatched as far as experience goes and your rostered players, but you are pleased to be there, and you can't ever win a national championship if you're not in the club championship. So they're there. It says a lot about that, and that helps with recruiting, that helps with a whole bunch of other things that helps build your program. So hats off to them, and I look forward to seeing them in many years to come.
Well, as you know, softball is a product that allows you to get around the country, and in this case, Onehunga Mangere across the bridge to a national championship, but also an opportunity to play abroad. And a couple of these players that are playing for Hutt City United, the catcher there with the mask on, Logan O'Leary, the left fielder, we saw with a couple of good hits here today. They've had a chance to play in Canada, mate. They were in your good old mate's homeland, part of Canada, in Kelowna, British Columbia. And that is with Richard Haldane.
Well, Rich Haldane's done a great job, and he's been an ambassador to the sport, a long-time pitcher, and now ambassador to the sport. And Rich has done a lot of work. I do want to correct you that BC is on the western coast of Canada. They are not the center of Canada. I love BC, just so you know. I am from Toronto and from Ontario. We are in the center of the country. So let's make sure we know what's center, what's east, and what's west. Okay,
all right. We get it. You're the center of the world. We get it.
No, just our world, bro. Just ours, okay?
Yeah, fair enough.
Not the entire, just our little piece.
There it is. Chase Rouse now swings over the top of that one. As we work our way through the bottom of the third innings. Onehunga Mangere, they did pick up a run earlier on in the game. A bit of excitement come off the bat of the young catcher, Tyrone Manuel, who drove it to the corner. And I'm sure he'll remember that moment for a long time to come.
Yeah, which is too bad my audio was cut off, because I said this guy looks like he's a good power hitter and probably could, get on a pitch or two. He's got good bat speed, and he lines one down into right field for an RBI. I thought that was pretty good. And that, again, when you're a team that doesn't have this type of experience, getting a run is big, and certainly in your first game against a team like Hutt City.
Hard hit ball through the 5-6 when Rouse shows a little bit of fight and spirit, and I don't know, maybe I feel like something's cooking in the kitchen here for the boys at Red, Onehunga Mangere.
Well, I'm not so sure that the kitchen's open quite yet. I think they're knocking on the door, but I think they've got some work to do. But again, it starts with one base runner at a time, and that's the way they have to approach it now.
Reese Moe now will step in. Starting pitcher for Onehunga Mangere. And he sees one down Main Street. Doing a real butcher's job, by the way, Lance, to the scoreboard, I can tell you. This one comes through the zone.
I appreciate that and all the help that you've given me.
Two runners on here. That one will come down the edge. Oops. See, look, I've just given him too many strikes, I think. Here we go. Outside. I'd love to say the count's 2-2. And it is 2-2. How about that, Lance?
Look at you. As long as we keep it under 5, Chopper, you are definitely the man.
It is indeed. This one just misses outside, so that'll load the bases here. Going to heavy along. 9 runs to 1, bottom of the third innings, and couldn't be any better. The CEO of Soccer New Zealand just walked in the room. The room just got a lot brighter. Pull down low. That was straight out of the textbook of Lance Wynn right there, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I'll tell you, when I'm looking at hit a pitch and this young fella he's really on those corners. Tough he didn't get a call on one of those last 3 pitches, but that was the first time we had seen him come with a bit of a changeup, and that was good to see.
Laced over to third base. They'll get the lead runner. No chance to double up. So 2 away now, and Onehunga Mangere, though, loaded bases. How long until the big catcher comes up? Let's have a look down the lineup. I'll still get away, unfortunately. However, the next man's turn, and that's his opportunity, and it'll be Cameron Money, the money maker. That's going to be the best last name in this tournament, isn't it?
Well, that's pretty impressive even on this side of the globe. Oh, you can do a whole lot with money, I'll tell you that.
I hear you, my friend, I hear you. Slow roller. Baldwin there, look to make the play, and he is safe on a bang-bang play at first base. And the run will come in to score. Second run of the ball game here for Onehunga Mangere.
Well, Chopper, you could see earlier in the first inning a couple of choppers still had some high hops to them. Now that the ground has been a little more saturated with the rain, you don't get that, and it slows the infield rate down, and good speed to get down to first base to run that one out in a big run for OM.
So 2 runs to 1 now. Money, the money maker, Cameron Money. We're able to bring that one in, and Tyler Twigden has his tower buzzed here. Jaden Hita, replacement pitcher in this innings. Of course, a representative for New Zealand at the U18 World Cup level. Went away to Hermosillo, Mexico a cycle ago, about 3 years ago or so. So some international experience for this young arm from Hutt City United. Hard ball. And boy, just a couple of stutter steps out there for the right fielder, Tauma, but he was underneath it by the end. So that'll do us here in the bottom of the third innings. It's not before Onehunga Mangere. They double their score. Don't go anywhere. More Lance Wynn and OM HC United to come.
Sometimes virtual reality begs for more reality. Jack Links is good with it.
Well, no mai, hi to my. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Freeman Field on a slightly soggy-ish opening day of the championship. But nothing will get the attitude or the morale soggy on day one because they all play for this tournament. It's a big deal. Hutt City United firmly in the lead here, 9 runs to 2 over Onehunga Mangere. And I've got a smile on my dial because I got my buddy back in the commentary booth on the Lance win. Kia ora, Lance.
Good to be back. Good to be back with you, Chopper. It seems like we haven't really missed a beat, although it's been a couple of years since I was lucky enough to share the booth with you. So great to be back, and thank you very much for the invitation. I appreciate it, and I got one compliment out of you, so that's good for a week, and I'll ride that till then.
The only upside of not seeing you, my friend, is my wallet's a little heavier when we go to the bar. Because boy,
well, you know, my arms are short. Well, my arms are short. What's the problem? Why you keep calling me out on that? Okay.
This one's
I'll
up.
get
So
the first round and the first round only. What?
I'll get the first round next time. But I've never heard that from you. I've never ever heard that from you. Jude Dawson.
Once
He will
again,
lead
I'm trying
off.
to work something and you're not cooperating, okay? Like, you know, don't put anyone on guard for the next time I come down there. It's worked twice, okay?
It has indeed. Pitching change here for Onehunga Mangere. Number 10, Tipini Paul, had come on to the mound. And, of course, Reese Moe, he started the game. They make a change there. 9 runs to 2 at this point. We're actually going to get the score checked. Just listen to the umpire.
4-1, 1-4.
There. What does that mean?
4-1, 1-4.
Is that the equation of the Pythagoras, Lance?
Listen, I already told you. Your counter goes at 10. Mine goes at 5. Math was not my strong suit, but I can count cash. That's it. Okay, that's all
I can count cash. I just never get it out of there.
Theorem. Come on, are you kidding? Why don't you ask me for some fractions too while you're at it? I don't have anything for you, Chop. I don't.
4-1, 1-4, of course, second base in the pitch. And pitcher will go to second base. They had another young fellow who started the innings. But Tipini Paul, a bit more of a senior veteran. And as I mentioned, we're really, really happy for Onehunga Mangere to be here this week. Made a point of it at the opening welcome meeting last night with all the coaches and managers, recognising Onehunga Mangere, also the Papakura Patriots for their, I don't know if it's their first one, I think it might be. They've made the effort to come here, Michelle and Kingy and her husband. And great to have them here. And they've got their first game up. They beat the Birkdale Falcons, I believe, 4 runs to 2 in a tiebreaker. So congratulations to Papakura. Continue with the action here. A couple of changes on the Hutt City United side. Substitute hitter in Harry Muir will bat. Well, Drew Dawson, he was the one who led off with the walk. He was a substitution as well. That one just gets stuck in the hand a little bit. And you can understand Lance from Onehunga Mangere's point. They got a long 5 days of tournament to go here. Reese Moe is probably their only real recognised pitcher on their staff, and he can't throw every innings, can he?
Well, no one can, right? And if you're Onehunga Mangere, you really are looking again for the experience, and you're using this as a measuring stick to try and figure out what you need to acquire, what you need to improve as far as rostered players go, as far as talent goes, and you're competing with the best. So that's the best thing that they can do. And unfortunately, not everyone has 3 strong arms to go in a 5-day tournament. So it's going to be a struggle for them. But again, it's about the learning curve and the fact that they're here.
Of course, another team on debut at this tournament, the national tournament, is our visitors from Melbourne, Australia. We have the Blue Sox United squad here. As a hard hit ball by Muir goes up the middle. Coast to coast won't be enough for for Dawson. He will score from first base. That kid has some gas.
Well, he was off, and he never broke stride from first base. Once he saw how hard that ball was hit, knew that obviously the grass is wet out in the outfield. That's going to slow the ball down to the fielder. And with good speed like that, he had, again, no hesitation and just some picture-perfect base running.
Josh McCarroll now, his third at-bat of the contest. Yeah, so the Blue Sox United softball team, they've made the trek over from Australia, Melbourne. George Ironside and David Butler in charge of that team. Met a couple of their lovely ladies as well that help organise all their men, and they're really excited. We're going to get them in the booth this week sometime, have a chat to see what's happening in Melbourne, what's happening for the Blue Sox, and what it took to make the trip over to New Zealand for this national tournament.
Well, let me ask you, Chopper, of course, first off, hats off to Beyond the Dugout and what they've done to bring exposure, not just so much for what you've done for New Zealand, but what you've done for the rest of the world in allowing us to be able to jump into your backyard and watch and learn the way the game's supposed to be played. So good job on your part, but tell me, throw me a couple of challenges in putting together a production of this magnitude.
Yeah, this year we're really, really proud to see a 2-2 count here on McCarroll. Runner goes to 3 on that last play. I'm very proud that we are streaming all 5 diamonds of this national championship, and it's part of a drive from us, Softball New Zealand, and North Harbour as a partnership to give our game the most exposure as possible. Of course, there's a lot of families that can't be here to watch with their son, their nephew, their uncle play in the tournament, or maybe their mother or their auntie coaching in the tournament. So it's a chance to share that for them. But of course, with any sport, the more eyeballs you get on it, as this one flies out, I'll go foul out of play. The more eyeballs you get on your sport, the better it always is, isn't it, Lance?
Well, that's for sure. And again, getting global exposure is different than getting national exposure, and that's the difference. And now the Kiwi game is on display for the rest of the world to see. So hopefully that makes it a little more difficult for New Zealand to finish higher than Canada at the World Cups. But we'll see how that translates.
This one's hit hard, goes out to centre field, and they'll make the catch, but it's well deep enough for Hutt City United to play another run here in the top of the 4th innings. We will get the score checked. They've got to be pretty close to the 10-run margin. Of course, that's at the bottom of the 4th innings, not at the top, which is where we are right now. And, Lance, I actually don't mind. I know a lot of people kind of talk about it at times regarding broadcasting their sport. Are you showing the opposition some secrets? Well, you know what? If you have to hide from the opposition, then maybe you need to work on your own game than anything else. So I think if you're happy for your game to be marketed, you look at the Major League Baseball as an example. Right now, it's one of the biggest spectacles that's out there in the sporting landscape. It's something to be celebrated, not to be hidden from. That's for sure.
And I would agree with you wholeheartedly. I think the more exposure to the sport that it's given, the better off the sport is overall, and it trickles down to the individuals and the athletes that play, the coaches, and as there we can see, I can see Fortin's mustache right there, and sorry, I got a little distracted, Chopper, but it's still impressive. But I mean, it just says a lot about the sport and what it means. And again, you have to understand that as someone that lives on the other side of the globe, things aren't always perceived the same way, and sports aren't prioritized the same way, and that's one of the differences between what's done in New Zealand and Australia and some other countries and what's done in Canada. And we just wish in Canada that the exposure was exactly the same as what you're doing here. So, hats off to you, and hats off for New Zealand, Softball New Zealand, to back you and allow for this type of exposure to expand.
You see, I appreciate the comments, Lance. A hard hit ball down the line from Tauma. But I tell you what, a cap tip to Joel Byrne out there running, just going station to station on that double from second base. He stayed at third. And I don't know about you, Lance, but when I see a player do like that and give the respect to an opposition team that maybe needs a bit of that respect at this time and moment, that goes a long way for me.
Well, it should, because it says not only a lot about the athlete himself, but it says a lot about his family, his upbringing, and the coaching staff, because those are good habits and good things that you should keep no matter what sport you play. That's just good sportsmanship.
This one left up tagging this time is Byrne, and he will put the throw under pressure, and down home he comes. And if I've got the score right, it's a 10-run margin now, could be 11. As we go back to the top of the shop here, Zarshaw Wallace. An opportunity for him to come to the plate again, about the fourth at-bat in this match. Of course, coming up next is another big game here on Diamond 1. That'll be the 3 o'clock scheduled game as Shaw Wallace gets in the back of this one, and that's deep enough for an out, and that'll be the third out of the innings. But not before Hutt City United applied the pressure here. They have a margin of 10, and we'll find out whether 3 outs will do it when we come back. It's slightly wet, but you know what? The sunshine is shining because Lance Wynn is in the house. See you back here soon. Great to have you along, ladies and gentlemen. And boy, oh boy, Onehunga Mangere have scored 2 runs on debut here. Their first match of the National Men's Championship. And I tell you, I couldn't be more prouder for them and their efforts that they've done today. They're going to need a couple more runs to stay in this ball game. Bottom of the 4th innings here. But Lance, you got to be stoked for this team on debut, scoring 2 runs against a formidable side like Hutt City United.
Well, sure, and I think, again, and I've always been a firm believer that you can learn more from a loss than you do from a win. And I think being able to get 2 runs off this Hutt City United team is a feat, and to come in for your first time in your first showing and score a run in your first game is something to build on. And I think that hats off to the coaching staff for Onehunga Mangere just to keep their team up and in it despite the score and take some positive out of this going forward.
Yeah, indeed. Take some positive out of it. And the positive is they are here. It really is a big statement. 2 runs. You've got to be very, very happy with that. As you know, Lance, when you're at the pointy end of games, especially at the highest level, 2 runs is a win. 2-1 normally, or something like that, or 2-0 is the scoreline in a real duel of softball, and it's fantastic that they've achieved that. Pinch hitter in here, Hayden Stubblings, will step in to go to work, and he looks like a youngster that's got a big future ahead of him, Lance.
Well, I've seen a few of them already in the lineup, and I've been impressed already with the way they swing the bat, how confident they've looked up at the plate. They haven't looked like they're overmatched. They haven't looked like they're just happy to be there. They're out there competing, and really when you look at the 2 runs, that's something to build on, Chopper. And I think that's what you're looking for coming into this first game.
This one fouls this one off to stay alive. Very is cool. That rain has stayed steady, a little heavier out there actually at the moment. And we've brought our cameraman under cover. We left a static camera up in first base, but that one's all exposed, and Choppers gets a little soft in his old age. I don't want his crew getting all wet in the cold. So we brought them under cover, so you will see a bit of the net in the shot, like that one right there, but just spare a thought for our cameraman that would be out there in freezing temperatures and pouring rain all day. So got to look after him. It's only day 1, isn't it, Lance? Only day 1.
Well, you have to. I mean, the cameramen do a heck of a lot more work than anyone that sits in the booth. The audio, your directors they are the core. Without them, you have nothing. So I think taking care of your crew, similar to the way a coach takes care of their team, you've got to do the same thing, Chopper. And I think that says a lot. Just remember, though, you're not my boss. Just wanted to throw that in there quickly.
It's impossible.
Carry on. All right.
Let's be honest. 2-2 and swings over the top of that one. So 1 out away, Hutt City United to getting off to a good start here on day 1 of the national tournament. And it looks like we're going to have another pinch hitter into the ball game as well. And I tell you what, we get a shot of him while there. They can see the dugout there. The rain is not making it that pleasurable for some of these players. This kid's come out and he's like, I had to put my blanket down. Poor fella.
Well, and the potential to be the last out, I'm sure, isn't the most motivating at bat that they would get. But we talked about Onehunga Mangere and how beneficial this is. Well, Hutt City came in expecting to win this game, and they played exactly to form, and that's big for them. So you talk about things that you can build on. Look at what they've done, how many runs they put up on the board. Guys have had a chance to get 2-3 at bats, so they're going to only look stronger heading into tomorrow.
They are indeed. And a hard hit ball up the middle, and one of the youngsters, Callum Baldwin, off the bench, will seal the deal for Hutt City United. And that'll get her done here. 13 runs to 2, the margin. I'm going to come back to you in a second for an MVP, Lance, in the match. And it was really Hutt City United from woe to go. They scored a couple of 3 runs in the first innings. Onehunga Mangere, though, they scored 1 in the bottom of the second innings. And that was a little shining star in my mind. Middle part of this game, Hutt City United, they stretched their legs, really did. They ran the bases well, stole a number of bases. and put their foot down when it was needed. Onehunga Mangere at the end of the game, of course, pick up another run here in the bottom of the fourth innings. So really happy for them that they have done that. So 13 points to 2, or runs to 2. Hutt City run out victors. MVP, Bud?
Well, I mean, there are a few guys out there, but I had a sheet. I like what O'Leary did, and I like what Joel Byrne did. I thought they were very effective, and even in the bottom half of the order, the top was strong too with Shaw Wallace. But I mean, I would be looking at either O'Leary or Byrne. I'm going to give the final call to you strictly because you're older.
That's nothing like Lance Wynn sitting on the fence, pleasing everyone. Good on you, my friend. Well, we'll share it. How about we do that? Indeed. Logan O'Leary, the left fielder, and Joel Byrne, the starting pitcher for Hutt City United, and also some great respect in his base running when he came back into the ball game. They are your Beyond the Dugout MVPs here of a Game 11. Don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. Coming up next, the big boys from down south will face off. It's a southern face-off. Who will be the southern man? We'll find out when we come back. Albion taking on Rawson from out of Christchurch. Thank you for joining us. We'll be back very shortly, 20 minutes till the next game starts. Thank you, Lance. Great to see you and talk to you, my friend, again. Please tuck up, stay warm, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks for having me, Chopper. Look forward to it.
Looking forward to it indeed. There you are, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the whole crew. We'll see you shortly. Big win for Hutt City United, 13 points to 2. And coming up next, we mentioned Albion and Rosedale. Don't go anywhere. We got ourselves a beauty going on. Really, really have. It was so good to have Lance in the house. Boy, what a pleasure. What a pleasure indeed. See you soon. For the team betting here, that is today. Dallas Clifton is in the clean-up spot as we see Lands go down on strike. Logan O'Leary will be hitting in the 5 spot today. Josh Carroll is in 6. Joel Byrne, Onehunga Mangere. And excuse me if I get excited of Club Nationals. I believe it's
of the sport and how it's extending itself, and there's obviously a long line of traditions down there.
So ball fouled away. That's 2-2 and does bode well. Thank you, Lance, for effectively for the new boys on the block. Onehunga Mangere, it is on day 1 at the Men's Club National Championship. On the Dugout broadcasting remotely for once, because he always comes down here. We can't keep him out of our country because
they're much better. But I mean, you're certainly closer geographically than I am. That stuff sort of interests from the junior ranks all the way up to playing here. A part of the tournament, a part of the team, and a contributor. That's what you want.
He threw the 5-6 hole, and he'll trot down a first base with these. And came back a better player, and just loved the experience.
Is invaluable. It's the best players in the world.
Mo will throw over the comebacker in time to get the first, and now giving back hand knowledge of Onehunga Mangere's geographic. I'll try my best, my commentator. Hard hit ball up the middle here, and Hutt City United will open their account in the bottom of the first innings.
Again, Chopper, that was, as you see, another base hit there and another run. So really,
Lance, it's got that Puerto Rican.
Will you let the kid wear the helmet and go out there and swing the bat?
I'm just trying to get out of the weather. Rosedale Park here. We've got some all-weather diamonds. The outfield has amazing drainage, so no issues whatsoever. We do have an update from an earlier round today. 2 games got suspended. Hard hit ball, and Manuel, this is the bit of the power I was telling you about. He blasts this one into the corner, and Onehunga Mangere will score their first run of the national tournament here off the bat of Tyrone and Onehunga Mangere. It's time to use zone. And the runner takes off. Hard hit ball by Lands, and it's one off the bottom of the fence here. and that'll allow Shaw Wallace to come on through in the first innings, and I'm sure he'd like to make an amends here, if you like. Hard hit ball, that's got merit. About one,
Potential compliment. So I just know I haven't seen you a while and you missed me.
No one can really care about the score, to be honest with you. Just being here is a score indeed. We continue on the top of the third innings here. Jackson Baldwin.
I see Mumu's bulked up in the offseason.
Yeah, well, he's been doing.
With you and everyone that I've been lucky enough to meet and spend some time with when I was over there on 2 occasions.
That's win in Aotearoa Shores, and I'm sure at some stage he must be due back very, very shortly. Now, not just this game, but a
whole bunch of other things that helps build your program. So hats off to them, and I look forward to seeing them, in many years to come.
Well, as you know, softball is a product that allows you to get around the country, and in this case, Onehunga Mangere across the bridge to a national championship, but also an opportunity to play abroad. And a couple of these players that are playing for Hutt City United, the catcher there with the mask on, Logan O'Leary, the left fielder, we saw with a couple of good hits here today. They've had a chance to play in Canada, mate. They were in your good old mate's homeland, part of Canada, in Kelowna, British Columbia, and that is with Richard Haldane.
Well, Rich Haldane's done a great job, and he's been an ambassador to the sport. Not the entire, just our little piece.
There it is, just roll. And I'm sure
he's got good bat speed, and he lines one down into right field for an RB team like Hutt City.
Hard hit ball through the 5-6 when Rouse shows a little bit of fight and spirit, and I don't know. This one comes through the zone.
Well,
slow roller. Baldwin there, looked to make the play, and he is safe on a bang play at first base. U18 World Cup level went away to. I got my buddy back in the commentary booth on the Lance win. Kia ora, Lance.
Appreciate it, and I got one compliment out of you. So. Sure, what's the problem? Why you keep calling me out on that? Okay.
This one's up. So.
Well, no one can, right? And if you're Onehunga Mangere, not everyone has 3 strong arms to go in a 5-day tournament. So it's going to be a struggle for them. But
we have the Blue Sox United squad here. As a hard hit ball by Muir goes up the middle. Coast to coast won't be enough for for Dawson. He will score from first base.
Picture perfect base running.
Josh McCarroll now, his third at bat in the
backyard, and watch and learn the way the game's supposed to be played. So good play.
I'm very proud that we are streaming all 5 diamonds of this.
But we'll see how that translates.
This one's hit hard, goes out to centre field, and they'll make the catch, but it's well deep enough for Hutt City United to play another run.
And what's done in Canada, and we just wish we could play. That's just good sportsmanship.
This one lifts up, tagging this time is Byrne, and he will put the throw under pressure, and down home he comes. And if I've got the score right, it's going to be the 3 o'clock scheduled game as Shaw Wallace gets in the back of this one, and that's deep enough but Lance, you got to be stoked for this team.
I've been impressed already.
It's all exposed, and Choppers gets a little soft at his old age. I don't want his crew getting all wet and cold. So got to look after him. Sunny day. It's impossible.
Carry on.
Let's be honest. 2-2. Hard hit ball. They are indeed. And a hard hit ball up the middle, and one of the youngsters, Callum Baldwin.